The Wally Show podcast is our daily radio show heard live through the WayFM app each morning and hosted by Wally, Gavin, and me, Betty Rock. For more fun, be sure to connect with us at wayfm.com/Wally.
The Wally Show podcast is brought to you by Colorado Christian University Online, where you can earn a degree online just like Betty Rock. You can learn more at ccu.edu/Wally. Makeup's done? Hair's did?
This is probably one of the most glamorous moments of my life.
Time for News-ish with Betty Rock on The Wally Show.
Gavin, you have a Costco membership, correct?
Yes, I'm an executive member. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. I know nothing about Costco memberships because I don't have a membership myself. But I mean, it makes sense for me just because as someone who lives alone, and you don't need to buy in bulk. And I have a little place, like where would I store it? All the things. But you are riding on the coattails of your parents, correct?
Oh, no.
Oh.
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
This is our membership. This was, my parents are Sam's Club people. We're Costco people. It's the only thing we differ on.
I didn't know there were like tiers and levels and things like that.
It is interesting how how much access other people have, how much money back you get. Because that's something we chose the executive because we get, spend X amount, get money back, basically pay for your membership. Right.
And there are soon to be other benefits as well. You may know this. You may get the email that notifies you. You get a $10 credit for being one of the executive members. Mm-hmm. You have to spend I don't know, there's certain, of course, things that you have to do to get it, but $10 credit. But here's the biggest announcement that they made just recently. They said that Costco will now be opening up an hour early for executive members only.
I'm an executive member. That's huge.
Right. So Monday through Friday, they will be open 9 to 10 a.m. for you. Saturday, it's only 9 to 9:30. So you have 30 minutes. Got to run fast. And then Sunday, 9 to 10 a.m.
Okay. So I guess I have to do this on Saturday because we work. Woo-hoo.
Right.
So on Saturday, I have half an hour. But yes, for a lot of people, that store is never not busy. The parking lot is never not full. And you're spending so much time waiting in line with your bulk items. And so I can see the advantage of, and hopefully there just aren't that many executive members. Because in essence, if it's just a ton of us going there and it's still busy because all the executive people went, I don't know. I still love this though.
To me, this also tells me I'm not meant for Costco just because it reminds me of Black Friday and I can't stand crowds, long lines, things like that. It makes me antsy.
You're telling me there's not a line out the door when you go to Piggly Wiggly with your family?
There really isn't. I know that's hard to believe, but people are not knocking down the door at the Piggly Wiggly. That's for sure. But anyways, if you are a Costco member and this excites you just as much as it does Gavin, the first Saturday that you'll see an extra hour added is July 5th. Put it on your calendar. It's coming up July 5th. You will get to go in and laugh at all the star peasants. Hey, Wally, do you have a minute?
Sorry, busy.
I have cake.
Oh, what do you need?
Yeah, see, that's a perfect example of even though we are busy, we make time for what's important.
Yeah, because going back to school as an adult, you're busy with work, you've got family, but if you want to make your education a priority, trust me, you can do it. Betty did.
Like when I first started, I was super intimidated because it had been a while since I've been in school. But I mean, from the very first conversation, I felt like they were setting me up for success.
Yeah, and going back to school with CCU's flexible online courses makes it so convenient.
Yeah, and what's so cool is every class has a biblical worldview perspective. And so you think, well, how can they turn math into a biblical worldview? They find a way.
Yeah, and that was one of my jobs when I was teaching at CCU, was integrating not just the facts and figures of things, but how your faith plays into what you're going to do.
CCU offers Christ-centered higher education, transforming students to impact the world with grace and truth.
Cultivate your mind without compromising your heart. Get started today at online.ccu.edu. Colorado Christian University is a non-profit impact partner.
Getting you caught up. It's News-ish on The Wally Show.
We are about to enter the dog days of summer. When I think back on being a kid, summer meant freedom, fun, and basically always being with my friends. And apparently that kind of summer that I had as a 90's kid is trending right now. It's called the 90's kid summer. So what it means is that you basically give your kids the kind of summer you had when you were a kid, and it's a lot simpler. It means running through sprinklers, drinking hose water. I'm not gonna pretend like I did that.
You didn't do that?
I was not a hose water kind of guy.
And you learned real fast that you needed to give it a minute because all the hot water would be at the beginning. So let it run for a minute. And that would also wash out all the bugs or anything that crawled up in there. Then you could drink
Maybe
from
I wasn't a proper 90s kid, but it includes like riding your bike all day. Minimal supervision is kind of the key here. It's parents saying, hey, go out there. Here's like some snacks. I don't want to see you till the sun comes down. And I remember doing that kind of stuff where I would just hop on my bike and I lived in, suburban neighborhoods wherever we lived in whatever state we were living at the time. And I would just ride my bike to my friend's house. I didn't have a phone or anything. Sometimes we'd be like, yeah, I'm going to like Josh's house.
Wow.
But a lot of times go to the park, ride through the neighborhood. My parents didn't always know where we were.
How did you, when did you eat? What did you eat?
That's a good question. I'm trying to remember. I might have just not eaten just because I was having so much fun.
But I think that's how childhood should be. But sadly, we live in a broken world where it makes it a bit difficult.
People do say be cautious because you might love the idea of giving your kid a 90s summer, but you might live in like the inner city where there's not necessarily like parks for these kids to go to. You might not live in the safest neighborhood. And that's something that my parents we were blessed growing up is that we were able to live in good neighborhoods where I think you did feel safe just sending your kid out. But then other people are saying too that kids these days might not be super prepared because I grew up, TV, there's a computer in the household, but I didn't have a personal device. There was a lot less technology, and kids these days are inundated with technology 9 months out of the year.
Yeah.
And so there are a lot of kids who might not be prepared for a 3-month span where it's like, hey, well, let's take your phones away and you just go do summer nature stuff.
Well, you're the one that's a father now.
Oh, and
what do you think?
No, it's not happening. And this is partially like my wife and I were both working, so our kid's gonna have to go somewhere over the summers. But I cannot fathom letting my kid just saying, bye, Bennett. Like, I'll see you when I hope you come home tonight.
Right.
I don't understand. I don't think I could do that.
Yeah. Sadly, it's true. I remember my 90s summer looked really different. Mine wasn't so much in a cul-de-sac or anything. Mine was on the side of a hill. And I had goats, horses, sheep, all the things. So me and the animals... We were chilling.
I don't think that's going to be the trending kid
I don't
summer.
think so either. And internet? What was that?
Ugh.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.
Uplifting Way FM. If it's trending, streaming, or starring, Betty Rock's got it on The Rock Report.
Gavin, have you watched any of the show The Chosen?
Oh, that's kind of maybe the least Christian thing I've ever done is I've never watched that show.
You haven't?
No.
Okay. I watched maybe the first 2 seasons.
Okay.
And then I haven't been back. And not to say that it wasn't good. It definitely was good. And I really like the guy they've chosen. I can't remember his name, but the guy they've chosen to play Jesus.
Oh, he's one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the show started in 2017. And since then, it's accumulated over 200 million viewers. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of good. And it's good, too, because I think it started, it didn't start on some big old streaming platform.
Yeah, wasn't it like independent?
It was very independent.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool to see that people are able to get the story of the Bible played for them and they can understand what's going on. Well, season 5 just ended and already questions are, is it being renewed for a 6th or 7th season? And the answer is yes.
Wow.
They are getting renewed. So season 5 just ended with the Last Supper. And if you've spent any time in Sunday school, you know that Judas is about to have his limelight. He's about to be able to star. So the director and the writer said that you need to start preparing your hearts pretty much, because in season 6, it's going to be they said season 6 is going to be the most devastating.
Well, I mean, if
we know how it's going to go.
If we're following the Bible,
right,
on
you
this
know
one.
what's going to happen. Now, I never saw, I guess you could say for me, this is the least Christian thing I've done, is watch Passion of the Christ.
Oh, man.
Never saw it.
I think that the Passion of the Christ is a good thing to sit down and watch, just to let yourself have a peek at the severity of what Jesus went through for, like, dying for our sins.
Mm-hmm.
But that one, like, I remember I had to get to a certain age before my dad was like okay with me watching it.
Yeah.
Because it is hard to watch. It's very graphic.
Well, that's what I heard. So the director was asked, should we prepare for it being that graphic for season 6? And they said no.
Okay.
They won't get that graphic.
I think that's
it's a show.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a show. So I don't know if they necessarily have to, but they did say it will be devastating. It sounds like to me, after reading all about this, it sounds like they're going to play a lot on the relationships.
Okay.
So when Peter says that he doesn't know Jesus, like the devastation of that, Jesus walking through and just knowing what's about to happen, things like that. So maybe it won't be as graphic, but it'll play more on the heart.
Yeah, I've a lot of the people or clips that I've seen, because I see a lot of clips on TikTok, is that it looks like they give everyone a really good, like, human character, like seeing the humanity of Jesus.
And that is what's great about The Chosen, is that you're able to develop these relationships and these characters of these people so that you can get attached and kind of understand where these people are coming from, make them real. If you're hearing all this and you're like, man, I have never given The Chosen a chance, I need to catch up. You can actually catch all 5 seasons on Prime Video. It's all available for you there. And that way, once season 6 starts, you'll be ready and raring to go. Well, that's the end, but it doesn't have to be. Check out our Aftercast. It's new stuff you didn't hear in the podcast. Be sure to rate us on iTunes, as well as connect with us on social media. Just search Wally Show. And if you'd like to join our Facebook group made exclusively for you potties, the link is in the description of this podcast. Thanks to Colorado Christian University Online for supporting what we do.